start streaming button. Okay. It's loading. Oh, it looks like we're live. Look at that.
Live.
Yep, I'm just gonna...
Oh,
Share.
here
Yeah,
I see.
Twitter.
gonna copy the video URL and paste it here so I can just see it and analyze it. I guess I'm gonna talk here, 1, 2, 3.
So I'm going to like.
You're liking our own video.
Yep.
Dear God.
Yeah, looks like we're in sync, so that's cool.
That is very cool.
Yeah.
Alright. I'll just keep this up over here, and we'll see. I can answer any comments if they pop up. It's on the live streaming option thing here.
Nice.
Fancy.
Okay, YouTube, here we are.
Here we are, Pismo Beach.
Something about clams.
Something about clams, that's it.
Nice. So, this week is our first foray into live streaming.
Streaming, yes. Here we are.
It's almost been a year of us doing this.
Hmm.
It'll be a year in about a month.
Was it March?
Just about.
I know it was shortly after spring break.
Yeah.
Because my spring break got extended to unending.
Yeah.
It was
Right.
great because first it was like, oh, spring break's gonna be 2 weeks, and then we'll come back and we'll be fine. And then it was just like, yeah, don't come back to school. I was like, oh, I'm okay with this.
Nice.
And then a year passed, and then it was now, and then I don't know what happened.
And here we are.
Would you look at that? We have a comment already from the one and only Sam, a good friend of mine, one of my siege buddies. I'm sure some of them will show up and say funny things.
I like how he says, "What's up, gamers?" I'm not much of a gamer. But
Hey.
I think
I am.
that comment is really for Noah, guy over there.
This guy, way over here.
Yeah.
So, what are we
So I'm
talking
Noah.
about today?
I'm Ryan.
Oh, and I'm Curtis.
And today, what are we talking about today?
Some episode of some show.
Yeah. A DS9 classic.
DS9 Classic. Well, I figured, moving from The Man with the Golden Gun, the natural progression was to find the James Bond ripoff in Star Trek, thus bringing us back to Star Trek, and keeping us in fun territory.
Not only a Star Trek ripoff of James Bond, but it is also a combo trope episode of Star Trek, where it's transporter problems ensuing shenanigans and hologram programs ensuing shenanigans.
Yes.
It's like a crossover.
It's great.
And there's some original series vibes where you're in a different place, but it's old-timey Earth. It's fun. It's
Right.
fun.
And they go to the planet Hell set for
Yes,
all that.
yes, the cave set,
Yeah.
notorious.
Hey,
They just keep reusing it,
find different ways.
different ways.
Let's light this rock a different way today.
I would say them putting the giant 1960s laser did distract fairly effectively from the fact that it was the same rock set that you've seen 800 times in Star Trek.
Also a good
good-looking
Star
laser.
Trek trope.
Also a good Star Trek trope, giant lasers, yes.
And using the same sets.
And using the same sets. Well, they built a lot of new sets for this episode.
True.
Which is, I assume, the reason they didn't do another episode
Maybe.
Yeah.
properly. I would assume because this episode was expensive.
Not sure.
Not sure.
Speaking of expensive, I'm sure they spent a little bit more money on the opening shot of the episode.
Da-na-na-na-na. Yes, proper slow-mo.
Yeah.
Yes,
Whoa.
filmed at however many frames they had to be able to slow it down properly.
I don't know.
Yep.
It was nice.
Yeah.
It was nice.
And the opening kind of music cue, it just lets you know, oh boy, we're in.
You're in for an adventure.
Yep.
Da-na-na-na-na. Bum, ba-na-na-na-na.
It's good stuff.
He's got.
Dun, dun.
What is he? He uses like a champagne cork, or
Yes,
what is it? A
well-
wine cork?
Well, after he punches Falcon through the glass,
Yeah.
he's down on the ground. He gets back up, and he's pulling out the champagne, making the moves on the girl, and he sees the reflection of Falcon getting up in the champagne.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah.
he shoots him with the cork
Classic moment.
right in the head. Boom.
See, and it's funny watching the episode back. I realized that whoever they had in there did look quite a bit like the chief.
Yes.
So they must have they were like, that guy. He looks like him.
Who knows? He might have been the stunt double for him.
Oh, yeah, you're probably right. That's probably what they did.
It's like I know how these things work. Weird. Weird.
Interesting.
But yeah, and then Garrick shows up.
All right. And the doctor's a little huffy. He's like, I could have you arrested.
Well, he did break into his holosuite.
Yeah.
A classic Garrick move.
Yeah. You can't blame a Cardassian for being curious, though.
For being curious, no.
Huh.
Forgive me, you're such a talkative man. It's not like you to keep secrets.
Yep.
You've taken every chance to come in here,
Yes.
and nobody knows what it is.
Yep. And eventually Garrick's persistence kind of pushes the girl away, and then is that where it cuts, or do we go?
That's where it cuts, pretty much.
Yeah.
Because Julian's like, I'm gonna regret this.
Yep.
And
Oh,
then
yeah.
Garrick's like, what could possibly go wrong?
Right. Yeah.
Oh.
Yes. Classic setup. Yep.
Classic.
And then we
So,
get the classic main theme.
Post season 3
Mhm.
or post season. Was it season 3 that they sped it up? I think so.
Yeah, because wasn't that when
They
the
got-
Defiant came into the
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
cut?
The Defiant.
Yeah, a little less time gazing at the station, a little more time following the Defiant
Following
flying.
the CGI Defiant.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It's weird how obvious it is watching it now. It's like, oh, that's not the model. Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was watching it on my projector, and on the projector, the standard def just doesn't look great.
If only they would
I mean,
remaster it
Yeah.
and put it in HD.
I mean, and some of the colors seemed, I don't know, I just have this feeling if they remastered it, it'd be like such a vibrant, incredible looking episode, but we're just stuck with these standard def transfers. Too
Standard
bad.
def transfer.
Who knows?
well.
Who knows? But
A man can dream,
a man
though.
can dream. The thing longer. Yes. Yes. But we come back and we see a slice of life in terms of DS9 station.
Mm-hmm.
Captain Sisko, Major Kira, Commander Worf, Lieutenant Jadzia Dax, and Chief O'Brien are on board a runabout.
Mm-hmm.
They were at some conference about something.
Yep.
Something plot related.
Not entirely sure.
I know that they said it, but
Yeah. But they're
Doesn't matter.
they're flying back to the station.
they're flying back, and they were talking to the Cardassians.
Okay. Maybe that makes more sense. Yeah, that does make more sense because that comes into play later.
Yes. Minorly later, just to explain what happened,
Yep.
really.
And Noah and I made another discovery that this is pre Lieutenant Commander Eddington leaving.
I thought that happened earlier.
Mhm.
It must happen
No.
very shortly after this episode, cause
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. It was just like, oh, Eddington's still here. I don't remember that.
Yeah, and he's working to like save his shipmates and his
Yes,
captain. And
the chief of Starfleet Security is doing all these engineering things.
Well,
yeah,
he's
the
wearing
chief was
multiple
on the
hats that
runabout.
day.
Right, and there's no other engineers on the entire station.
Rom wasn't even like. Didn't Rom become like an assistant engineer
Yes,
kind of
That's
thing?
in
eventually.
season 5.
Eventually, yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
season 5.
By
we
the way,
thought they-
Rom and Quark in this are
Oh,
pretty funny. I mean,
Pretty great.
they have somewhat minor roles, but
It's hilarious.
Yep.
yeah.
Right here behind the spatula.
The spatula?
It's made of a copper alloy.
Perfect plasma conductor or something, yeah.
By the way, we have 2 more comments.
Yes, yes. Chuck is throwing shade, saying I'm better than Sam. I will refuse to comment respectively, as I
Yeah.
believe I have a biased point of view.
Ah, yes. And then who's Jace?
That's Jace. He's Hawaiian.
Cool.
I played football with him in college.
Ah.
Ah.
Yes, yes. Good
excellent.
man. Yeah, he's shouting out the chip boats, you know. That's our siege team name.
Ah.
Gotcha.
Very
His
good.
gamer tag is still Boatin'. My gamer tag is Morachip. We just threw them together.
Ah.
The chip boats.
Hey. Whatever works.
It works.
Okay, somebody says you don't want to know who Jace is. Is that?
Oh. Uh-oh.
Ooh.
Some,
Chuck is in here trying to
there's a-
start drama.
oh, there's a backstory we're missing here.
Chuck's just being a goof. Oh, lords.
All right.
So-
Anyway, we got a little distracted.
Just a little.
So yeah, they detect a power surge in the warp core.
Yes.
Uh-oh. On the runabout.
Oh no, not the runabout.
Yep,
It's a
and
good thing they were on that runabout and not the Defiant.
Yeah.
Right. And they seem to be kind of like, a little leisurely in their diagnosis.
Yes,
And they're like, oh, it's
Oh,
overloading.
It's overloading.
Okay.
We should try ejecting the warp core. Oh, the ejection system's missing.
Uh-oh. Well, okay.
I like
seem
Chief's
very-
response. It's like, oh, that's funny. It's missing.
We've been sabotaged.
Yep.
There.
So luckily, Mr. Eddington is on the case. He's uh-oh, let's beam him out quick.
Quick, lower your shields. Cut main power. And then the explosion goes off.
Boom.
I feel like there's been other situations where ships have exploded while transport is going on and things always work out fine.
Yeah, this one was a little
Plot
different.
related.
Somehow
Yeah,
the
the plot-
explosion.
The plot altered the explosion to,
Plot
Mess-
demanded change.
or maybe Cardassian transporters. We don't see this happen with Cardassian transporters very
True.
often.
Yeah.
Yeah, cutting corners. Those
Cutting
Cardassians.
corners, damn Cardassians.
Yeah. Mm.
Well, you could argue that it's Rom or Quark cutting corners. You know,
I mean-
scrounging for parts.
Rom scrounged for parts from the transporter system.
I wouldn't
The
put it
deep
past him.
lore. Imagine. But yes, their patterns are stored in the transporter buffer, but they're losing cohesion.
Noah made the comment that
Scotty fixed this problem in the episode Relics and kept himself alive for like 15 years in transporter
Yeah.
buffer.
That is true, huh?
Yeah, I know it's true.
but
Yeah, and
I
that's,
made the argument that none of these engineers are as good as Scotty, so they couldn't figure out how to make
Right,
that work.
Chief O'Brien was trapped in the buffer.
So he's the closest thing.
He is the closest thing, that's true.
That's a good, huh?
Eh.
I hadn't even made that connection. That's a good point.
It just came to me,
as
as these things do. I was just like, huh. Okay, whatever. But you know, plot.
Although you could argue being trapped in that transporter buffer for so long made him forget that Captain Kirk had perished You know, if you're looking
Yes,
for
he forgot that movie hadn't been made yet.
right. Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Yep.
Hmm.
I like this thinking.
It is the right thinking.
Okay, so
Anyways.
station goes dark.
Yes.
They're like,
Because
uh-oh, what happened?
Eddington told the computer to wipe all memory necessary to store the patterns in the buffer.
Mm-hmm.
So the station wiped all memory possible, pretty much. Except for probably backup systems, which are keeping them alive,
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
one would assume.
And that holodeck, or the holo whatever.
Yes, the holodeck is still
Holosuite.
running. Yes,
Mhm.
the holosuite, not a holodeck. There's a difference. I don't know what the difference is, but
I don't
apparently
know
there
what-
is one.
Slightly bigger? I don't know.
I have no clue. Might no.
We're brought to this realization because you cut back into the holosuite, and Garrick and what's
Bashir
his
get
face?
back to
Bashir?
his apartment in Hong Kong.
Yep.
Oh right, yes, Hong Kong.
He's giving out all the exposition for where they are, the time period that they're in, the 1960s, the Cold War.
Yeah.
And then,
I'm a spy.
And you live like this?
I think I joined the wrong intelligence agency.
Yep, yep. Classic.
Garrick.
Yep.
Then they hear a noise, a thunk, and he presses the button to make the bar spin around to
The bed. It's like,
to the
okay.
bed. It's like, oh, okay, all right.
So is that his bedroom,
Yes.
or does he have a second bed? I'm confused.
I'm confused too. I don't think we're supposed to put this much thought into it.
Yeah.
It's more of just set piece.
But
To
what
be
happens
cool and
next is a
spy-ish.
little bit more confusing.
Oh yes. 'Cause
After what happens, so
right.
bed turns around. It's Kira Nerys.
Kira Nerys. Major Nerys Kira. Kira Nerys, actually.
Colonel, actually.
Oh yes, Major Colonel, actually. Colonel Anastasia Komononov, KGB.
KGB.
Yeah.
That's a good James Bond reference, you know, having the KGB working.
Nana Visitor is going ham on that Russian accent.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
Yeah. It's not. Yeah.
Yeah. They figure out that she's not actually Major Kira.
Mhm.
They call ops, and Eddington is like, we'll figure out what happened, and then he calls back 5 seconds later and tells them what's going on. The holodeck is storing the patterns of the 5 people on the runabouts. You can't turn off the holodeck, you might lose the patterns. Don't try and mess with stuff. Okay,
Yep.
cool. And then Anastasia Komononov pulls out the folder.
Yeah. It's like that she keeps pulling these folders out
Out
of
of the
nowhere.
bed. Yes.
Like-
She lays back. Oh, I'm here on business. Pulled out the folder. No, but she pulls out a different folder when they start talking
yeah.
about Professor Honeybear, aka
Oh, does
Dax.
she?
She just
Yes,
kind of like
she pulls
she
out
just
a
like
second
spins
folder.
around and then whoop. What? She had all these
Nice.
folders hidden in this bed.
Yes, she came prepared in her nightgown and her folders. I guess.
Whatever works.
Okay.
And
They're like, Garrick's like, do you really think we should be wasting time on this doctor? Look at who Honeybear is. It's Dax.
yeah.
It's like, oh, okay. She's
The
been
plot
kidnapped.
thickens.
Right,
Mhm.
she's been kidnapped, and they gotta find her so her pattern doesn't get lost or something. There's a very, basically a flimsy plot explanation to get them to keep going in the plot of the holodeck program, which
Yeah.
is fun.
Oh yeah, it's the earthquakes or whatever.
Yes, the
and,
earthquakes.
and Garrick is like, that's not very difficult to do.
Believe me, he knows nothing.
So.
Tense.
And
Dramatic.
then, tense and dramatic. And then walks in Falcon. Or should I say Chief O'Brien?
Yeah.
No, it's Falcon. Good to
He's-
see you again, Mr. Bashir. Maybe next time you should use something more lethal than a champagne cork.
He's great at that.
Oh,
It's almost a perfect role for him.
I mean, that's why whenever they bring back the Bashir program, the Julian Bashir program, he always begs him to play
yes.
Falcon.
When they mention it, they
Oh, yeah.
don't do a proper episode again, but they do mention the secret agent program again, and I think they do a little like 5-second segment. They're in like a limousine, and then Chief pulls up wearing the eye patch again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but you're so good at it.
Yes, you're just so good at it, Chief. That
So.
must have been season 6, because I'm pretty sure that was the episode His Way when Kira and Odo get together.
It might be,
I think that's the time.
or it could be the lead up to. I'm not entirely sure.
It's in there somewhere. I don't know. It's where my brain went. Anyways, coming back around.
We come back to Odo, Eddington, Rom, and Cork.
Oh,
they're up
yes.
in ops, and they're trying to.
No,
well,
I think that's the spatula.
Oh,
part.
that is the spatula part.
Yes, they're like, oh, there's no neural patterns in the holodeck. Well,
They're far too complex. Has to be
yes,
stored on the quantum
the
level.
quantum level. The holodeck can't handle that. So where are their brain patterns? Quark just figures it out. It's everywhere else. They're so large. They're taking up every last spare bit of information on the station.
Quark has those surprising moments where he's just like, somehow he knows.
He knows stuff. He's a smart guy.
He is.
Knows all 285 rules of acquisition by heart.
Yeah, you would have thought Rom would have come up with the explanation, but nope. Throw your curveball. Quark
Well,
knows.
You know, he's still being paid for the episode. They kind of had to give him a speaking role.
Yeah.
Quark shows up. I think he's one of the cast members that misses the least amount of episodes.
Really?
Yes. It's like him and Sisko, I think, are in pretty much everything. I know Kira Lofton, Jake Sisko, is in like the least amount in terms of a main cast member.
Yep.
But most of everyone else shows up most of the time. Like I'm thinking of Past Tense, Part 1 and 2. Quark calls the Defiant right at the beginning of the episode, just so Armin Shimmerman's in the episode for 5 seconds. Like, there's lots of stuff like that where he's just like on a screen and talking to people for.
Past Tense, is that the episode where they go back in time to the 21st century?
Yes.
Okay.
No. 20th.
No?
It was like. Oh no, you're right. 21st.
Because it's like.
Yes, it's
like-
2019 or something.
Yeah, it's happening like right around
now.
now. That's when that's supposed to happen. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Better.
I mean, some people have made real world comparisons, but we're nowhere near what was happening in Past Tense. They're just a bunch of weirdos, I think, trying to draw parallels. Well, there are none.
And they still had giant cell phones in that
Yes,
episode.
yes. And they dressed like it was still the 90s.
Yeah.
It's weird how we always think that fashion is going to be the same in the future. Or we have this weird future fashion idea that is never correct.
I don't know, those Nike mags from Back to the Future Part 2. I mean,
They actually made those.
they made those.
It was a limited run.
They're pretty cool.
I'm still waiting for the self-drying clothes.
I'm still waiting for the hoverboard.
Oh, yeah. Hoverboards are getting there. They're getting close.
Yeah,
Maybe.
maybe.
One day.
No hover conversions for cars yet.
Nope.
Maybe
well.
not.
I think Elon Musk will get us there, though.
I was thinking the same thing. If anybody will.
It's Elon Musk. What a man.
Anyway,
Back.
so we're in this scene where Ram is explaining his scavenging for parts and
Yes,
things.
the spatula.
And
So they have to figure out what to do next to
to reintegrate them.
Right,
Yeah,
to
reintegrate.
reintegrate the patterns, the neural patterns, and whatever. And then we're back in the house suite, and they're going to Paris. We kind of glossed over that, because all the top geologists or whatever have been invited by Dr. Noah.
Yes.
Right.
to meet at some club in Paris.
And it has to be that one club.
It has to be that one club. Yes, that's where he invited all of them to this one club.
Yeah.
It's amazing that no one else has made this connection and decided to go there yet.
Well, you know.
Well, yeah.
KGB did.
KGB.
Yeah.
That's true.
And now we know.
Now we
So
know.
we go there.
If you pay close attention, the set, part of the set is a reuse of the set in the first scene.
I believe
Makes
that.
sense.
I just noticed like the doorway. It was like, oh, that's the same doorway from before. Oh well.
So they go in and they ask for Dr.
see-
Noah.
Yes, they asked to see
Who's
Dr. Noah. And you see a familiarly bumpy head cast in shadow.
Yep.
Yep.
So they go back and there he is.
There he is, Mr. Duchamp.
Duchamp.
I like how Anastasia Kamaninoff, Kira Nerys, she puts on a giant accent.
Mm-hmm.
Worf doesn't even try.
Yeah, he's just like,
Yeah, no.
whatever.
It's like,
He doesn't need to. He's
or is he just posing as a Frenchman
Hmm.
in the universe?
I am Dr. Noah's associate.
associate.
Yes.
Well,
I don't have an invitation.
Yep.
Right.
Dr. Noah does not like uninvited
Uninvited
guests.
Still, an invitation could be arranged. 5 million francs.
Right.
So
I'm confused. Where's the rest of your money?
right in front of you.
Just handy that Duchamp happened to
Had
have
4
5 million francs.
No,
exactly.
4,999,000
Oh, yeah.
francs.
Yep.
Yeah. Handy.
Very handy. Plot
So-
demanded it.
Mm-hmm.
I think I don't know if it was the episode director or the screenwriters, they were smart enough to know that we've seen enough James Bond card scenes that we don't need to sit
Don't need
through
to watch
card
the
scene.
entire thing. We understand what's going on, yes.
Yeah.
He wins the card game.
Yeah.
Just show the end, showing that he did win, and he gives him the money.
And Worf can blow smoke rings, apparently.
And we were confused
Oh, yes.
about this.
His knockout gas. He just blows it in their faces. How doesn't he get knocked out? It's like it's
was-
just gas right there.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
The plot,
Plot
Yeah,
moves.
plot.
you know.
Thing.
I think
Now
would
we're
this
back
be
in
the
ops.
Yeah, now we're back to ops, and they talk about how it was a Cardassian.
Yes, the True Way, Cardassian
yeah.
terrorist group, sabotaged their runabout.
They had never done anything before. They
Right.
never.
They've
They
never-
just spoke.
Yes. And it,
Does the True Way ever come back up? I was wondering that. Or is it just like a one-off kind
I
of
think it's a
thing?
one-off thing
Weird.
Not sure.
because, like, politics on Cardassia kind of go to hell. Or they've
Right.
already gone to hell, I suppose. That was the beginning of season 4. Was the Klingon invasion of
Mhm.
Cardassian space.
Yeah.
Ducat.
Ducat.
Well, at that point, is Ducat still doing his like one-man war?
At this point, I think so. Wait, no, we're still early season 4. That hasn't happened yet. I don't think.
Okay.
Pretty sure not. Good question. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I don't think it's that important. Anyways,
At our high point, we had 5 viewers. Wow.
yeah,
All at the same time.
I know.
Oh.
Holy
I
smokes.
brought like the 3 remaining viewers. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Good man.
Well, we're going
And
strong.
Maximilian.
Thank you, everybody, for sticking with us.
Yes. You're better. You're better, Sam. Okay. He'll know. He knows. Jace, you may or may not be better. Turn down your vertical sensitivity, please. He'll understand.
Oh boy.
Anyways,
The plot moves.
the plot moves. Turns
Yes.
out Quark was right. Don't everyone thank me at once.
Yep.
So then they decide, all right, they need to hook the station up to the Defiant. It's got its own systems and its own transporter.
But Rom's equipment is different.
Right, it's not designed
It's not compatible.
with Federation equipment.
Yeah.
Have to make a few modifications.
O'Brien's gonna kill me.
So
Luckily, that Defiant always comes in handy to just have
It comes in
another
handy.
ship to
Yes.
do things
It's a good
with.
thing they didn't take that. They took that runabout.
yeah.
It was nice of the plot to think of that.
So we're at Mount Everest
Yes.
Yes.
for some yeah.
South-facing slope of Mount Everest at 22,000 feet.
25 actually.
Oh yeah. So we had the introduction of Dr. Noah.
I like it how
Hippocrates Noah.
yeah. I like it how all of the characters like I don't know, did we ever see somebody smoking a cigarette? Because it all looked like cigars.
It's all cigars.
yeah.
Yeah.
More classy.
Yeah.
More classy, yes.
It's not like Brodus or what's his name from the Orville?
Oh, Bortus.
Bortus, oh yeah.
500 cigarettes.
I watched that clip right after we
It's
filmed
so
that,
great.
and
It's hilarious.
I started shaking after 10 minutes.
10 minutes. Oh boy.
So, anyways,
Yes. So there's the reveal. Honey Bear is working with him, right?
yeah.
Yes. She's
It's like,
working with him.
And Dr. Noah starts monologuing.
He starts monologuing
Okay.
about how the world will soon be his.
It's true.
It's true.
I like that Avery Brooks really gets to be like hyper
Yes.
intense in all of this.
He's going full bore. Avery Brooks.
Yep.
Like when he built that clock.
Yes.
Right.
A clock. Oh my God, he's so
He's
he brings
into
so
it
much
right now.
energy about this clock. I want to know more.
Or
What
when
kind
he's
of clock is it?
when he's digging up and burying the Bajoran
I have
orb
to
in
bury
the-
it. Yes.
The stories exist in here.
Oh boy. It's real.
It's good stuff.
Far beyond the stars.
Another good Avery Brooks episode.
It's a good episode. I think it's slightly overrated. I know if anyone who actually knew DS9 was watching this, no offense to our fine viewers, they're not DS9 aficionados. They would probably lynch me for saying that. It's a good episode. I think it's overrated.
I should have sent a link out to Mike. Mike could have probably commented on this. He recently, well, in the last couple of years, he watched, I think,
All of Star Trek.
yeah, pretty much every episode, or
Wow.
at least
Good
all
man.
of DS9 and DS,
TNG.
yeah, TNG, and
Yeah, those are the good ones. Don't watch Voyager. It's not worth it.
there's some good. The Borg episodes are usually pretty good in Voyager.
Sometimes.
It's
Matrix
weird.
Zero is less good than you remember.
Yeah. It's weird to me that DS9 never interacted with the Borg. It's like it never pops up.
It popped up right away.
Oh, right.
Episode
Well,
one.
beyond,
First episode,
yeah,
I
beyond
suppose.
the opening episode, but that
They
was
didn't
like
need
a
to.
flashback,
Right.
exposition, bring it to the present kind of thing.
It was setting up the darker track.
Oh my gods.
Dark Trek, yes.
Oh lords.
This episode is not Dark Trek. This
No.
is
No.
like
This
hearty,
is fun track.
happy, fun Trek.
This is Trials and Tribulations level of
Yeah.
Trek, where you're just kind of enjoying it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The less nostalgia.
Yeah, I suppose. So, he starts monologuing,
He starts monologuing.
and
I've brought the best people here and the best protection that money can buy.
Yeah.
In comes Falcon.
Falcon.
Yes.
Well, the best, huh?
The best.
I guess.
Really?
He's managed to survive encounters with Dr. Julian Bashir twice.
Hmm.
But
That's
Julian, he's
that's a
been
good
trying
way
to
of-
kill
yeah.
you for 9 years.
That line does so much to feel like a James Bond movie where
Yep.
it's like, oh, we have to explain this guy.
Yep.
It's good. It's good.
His name's Jaws. He likes to kill, or he kills people. Like, okay, yeah.
Oh, okay.
That makes sense.
So what's with the metal teeth? Oh, it's because his name is Jaws. We're not going to
Yeah.
get more of an explanation than that.
Yeah. Yep.
I wish they'd bring him back and
Oh my god, that'd be so
for
great.
some of the newer movies. That would be so great.
I think today's audiences would not appreciate Jaws as much as we would.
I don't know. I think there's a touch of nostalgia still going around for James Bond, so I think maybe like if they got The Rock or somebody, just another well-known big person.
Sure.
I think it
Yeah, I
could
mean,
work.
if they did a like rated R James Bond,
Oh no.
and then you'd
Don't do
really
it.
see Jaws like tearing into people,
Oh my
it'd be
God.
intense.
We don't need that. Don't do it. Please don't.
They could like remake The Spy Who Loved Me where he's like destroying the shark with his teeth. Ah.
I'm surprised Deadpool could get into this.
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
Oh no.
Hey,
Imagine
Deadpool.
Ryan Reynolds like, remember that guy
I-
Jaws?
Man, look at those crazy teeth.
Saw that Deadpool is officially joining the Marvel Cinematic Universe somehow.
I
don't know.
really hope that he's just kind of there in the peripheral. I don't want a toned down Deadpool.
Well, Deadpool 3 I think is confirmed to be rated R. You know.
That's good. This is good. Good things.
And isn't there's a specific Infinity Stone that just basically exists for Deadpool, so he can. Have we discussed this before? Where you can
No.
talk to the writers. You can talk to the screenwriters or whatever. It gives him like super crazy beyond breaking the fourth wall abilities.
Oh no.
So what, he can communicate with the Watchers, or
With the
Oh, the
writers
ac-
at the
the
very
actual
least, I don't
writers.
know. I don't know
People
about.
who write it.
Suppose.
Like when Claudio or right?
Oh yeah.
It's a Coheed situation where
That's-
you're suddenly
yeah.
breaking the universe because you're talking to the person who's writing the book that you're in,
Yeah.
Right. Yes.
or the songs that are being written about you.
But then he dies because he's shot by police.
And there's also a demon bicycle.
Yes.
Yes.
How does that work?
How does that work? You're a bicycle. Believer, you're leaver, and leaving them all. Oh. Anyways,
Maybe Mike will watch this. He'll like that.
Mike.
I wonder if they're gonna try to explain Deadpool's kind of emergence into the MCU because he was using the timey-wimey gadget at the end,
Oh.
creating more holes for the multiverse
No,
kind of thing.
I think they'll be far more direct, and Ryan Reynolds, as Deadpool does, will break the fourth wall and be like, "Wait, we got acquired by someone.
Yes.
This is
Yeah.
weird. There's so many more characters we can throw in here, like that guy." And then it like pans over to Chris Evans or something stupid.
Oh yeah. Or they'll get Hugh Jackman finally.
Oh my, that would be so great.
You know, I've
They
been
keep
trying to get this
teasing it,
guy
like,
in my
every
movie for
couple
months
10
or
years.
something.
Yeah. Well, Ryan Reynolds, I think, is a very persistent man. He wants Hugh Jackman to show up
Yep.
Yeah.
so badly for no real reason.
He'll throw some references to like Les Mis or The Greatest Showman. Your singing sucks.
Oh, sad Hugh Jackman.
Sad
noise.
Hugh
No, he was actually a decent singer.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Anyways, the
This
plot
is-
continues.
This
Right,
has been
yes,
a very,
so-
very long side tirade. I would apologize, but
he monologues. He gives his master plan. Lasers
Pull-
are shooting into
yes,
the earth.
lasers will shoot the Earth.
Lava will
Lava
come
will
out.
come out, shifting the tectonic plates, which will make the land masses fall underwater. Yes, shrink. Shrinking, I think, is a bad term because that makes no sense.
Yeah.
Right. Too bad you won't be around to see it,
Yes,
Mr. Bashir. or
Mr.
whatever.
Bashir. Yes, they take him, they tie him to one of the lasers
Yep.
in the cave set, as we mentioned before. Once I throw that switch, it'll begin a 5-minute countdown. Even I can't stop.
Yeah.
Try to stay cool, Mr. Bashir.
Ah, great
Oh,
one-liners.
yes.
Ah,
And then for some reason, Honey Bear is just kind of hanging around.
yep.
She needs to check up on the laser. Make
All
sure
right.
everything's running good.
Right, yes.
That's what
good
she's
call.
there for.
Yeah.
You know, the last thing I want to see is you without your glasses on and your hair down. So smooth.
Yeah, it's very smooth.
Very
And it-
smooth.
Garrick is the peanut gallery in the background.
Yes. I'd give you some privacy if I could. This is more than I wanted to know about your fantasy.
Yeah.
Kiss the girl, get the key.
They never taught me that in the Obsidian
Obsidian
Order.
And then we get this. It's like they're trying to make the hell set look like, I don't know. It's like they're trying to climb around it, and
Yeah, it's
There's no
goofy.
reason to climb. There are
No.
walking paths right there.
Yes.
Yeah.
But they shoot everything from about knee high up, so you can't quite see that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Ultra shaky cam. Ba-ba-da-ba-ba.
Yeah. James Bond style, intense
Yes.
DS9 music.
Yes.
Then
So-
Garrick just wants to
He's
call
like,
it
no,
in.
this has
throw
gone
in the
far
towel.
enough.
Yep.
You're
Gives-
gonna take on Noah and his men with that. It's my fantasy. No.
So he gives his whole speech on how it's working in
You
the
have to
intelligence
know when
agency.
to walk away.
Yeah.
Yes, you can't have an ego. It's professionalism.
Yeah.
You have to know when to end the mission.
Mm-hmm.
Computer, show me the mechanism.
And you could have killed me.
What makes you think I wasn't trying?
Ah.
So
Great
many
one-liners.
like cliche lines.
It's so great. It's so fantastic in so many ways.
Doctor, there may be hope for you yet.
Garrick likes that kind of line too.
Yeah.
The
Andrew
screenwriters like
Robinson.
giving that line
Yes.
to him.
Yeah.
Well, it's a cheesy line, but Andrew Robinson's delivery of it just sells it so perfectly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Lead on. Who am I to argue with Julian Bashir, secret agent? Lead on.
So we get back to
The Tibet set,
yeah,
or the
Something.
mountain set,
the
the mountain retreat set.
yeah.
Yeah,
And for an instant, they have the upper hand.
they have the upper hand. Yes.
And then Worf comes in. He's like making a mistake.
Right, because Bashir is refusing to kill Dr.
Mhm.
Noah. What are you doing? Making a mistake.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Duchamp.
So there.
Bashir repeats Garrick's speech.
Right,
Yeah, 'cause
because
about-
Eddington is given need 2 more minutes or
Need
something.
2 minutes. Got to stall for time.
Yeah.
Perfect amount of time.
Perfect amount of time. If you think by going over there, you'll destroy my control console,
You are wasting your time.
I don't intend to destroy your console. I intend to use it. Bang!
Oh no.
He fires
Yeah.
the lasers.
And then Dr. Noah, he makes a very meta comment about, being
Somehow, I didn't expect to win.
Yeah. It's like, interesting.
Oh.
The holodeck program is trying to self-correct. It's
It
like,
is.
Wait. Something.
This is weird.
So
And then he's about to kill Julian, even though Julian literally carried out his plan for him.
Mm-hmm.
Then they transport away.
Yep. And then you say you destroyed the world to save the day.
Save
or
the day by destroying the
that's it.
world. They never taught you that in the Obsidian Order.
No.
Yeah.
So we get to
And then
the
episode
what have we
wraps up.
learned
Yes.
kind of moment where Garrick is like, a little imagination, or it's never a bad thing
little
to
fantasy.
yeah.
Really
helps your
helps your
imagination.
imagination, yeah.
And there's something else.
The good game of chance. You gotta
yeah.
enjoy it.
Yeah. And
I think Julian Bashir, secret agent, will return.
yeah.
Yeah, like jazz guitar, DS9 riff. It's great.
Yep.
And that's the episode.
That's the episode.
That's the episode. Solid.
We
Mm-hmm.
never get another proper Julian Bashir episode.
No.
It's kind of like Bride of Chaotica.
Yeah.
It's like the end question mark, and then they got that little snippet in Shattered, and that was it.
I really liked that.
That
part
snippet
of
in Shattered is great.
Shattered.
Shattered's a fun episode.
Mm-hmm. So.
Hey,
Breaking
I thought
away
you
from
didn't
my
like,
typical hatred of Voyager.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought you didn't like Voyager. That's what
I
was
don't like
discussing.
Voyager, but Voyager has the occasional good episode. It'll happen.
Mm-hmm.
Blind squirrels and nuts, you know.
Right.
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 Check.
Right.
Yes.
Right. Hey,
So
we're at
overall-
a solid 4 viewers.
Ooh.
This was a solid 4 out of 5 episode. If we were to put rankings on it, which
Wow. Yeah, I don't think we done rankings
No.
for anything. Oh,
No.
well. Nothing
No.
like the 45th
This-
episode to do a ranking.
Curtis, it is fueling into our rampant inconsistencies.
Yes.
Yes.
Shoot, I should have developed some graphics before we
only.
did this. I could have popped them on screen.
It's true. It's true.
I mean,
Wow.
you did come up with a couple graphics when we did what was it, our NFL?
NRC Talks NFL?
Yeah,
Yeah.
NRC Talks NFL.
Yeah,
Did
we-
you? I actually don't watch our content.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't much. It was just like a little, title thing.
Great.
I had
That's
hoped
beautiful.
to like have animated footballs that like flew across the screen or something, but that's way too much work.
Oh boy.
Next year,
Yeah, yeah.
or I suppose technically later this year,
Yeah.
by technicality.
Very true.
Right.
Right. Check.
Have you guys, keeping on the NRC Talk Sports, have you heard of the fan-controlled football league?
Yes, I know a person who's playing in it.
Really?
Yes, David Misa,
Oh, that's interesting.
former tight end from Carroll University.
Okay,
The
what
Great
team
guy.
is he
what
on?
controlled?
Fan-controlled football league.
Mm-hmm.
So what does that mean?
It means like fans on Twitch can call the plays, and it's being
Oh.
broadcasted on Twitch, kind of like how like Madden NFL is played. So you get some perspectives of the game, like you were playing that
I
way.
actually didn't know much about it. I just knew that Misa was in it. Snake.
Wow.
What a guy.
Do you know what team he's on?
I don't. But apparently teams change very frequently.
Yeah,
So
I know. Johnny Manziel is a quarterback for one of the teams.
Really?
Yeah, and he does Johnny Manziel football stuff, where he just dances and then decides to take off for a long run.
classic. I don't know if Chuck is still in chat, but Chuck knew more about the fan control football league than I did.
Interesting.
So
So, I don't know. Check it out if you have the chance.
Yeah. Sounds
It's m-
interesting.
It's more or less just 8-man football,
okay.
like indoor. I guess closer to like arena football.
Mm.
So.
But
Cool.
anyways, this
Mhm.
has been our discussion of our man, Bashir. If any of you fine viewers have any suggestions for our what we should talk about next week. We would love to hear them now and or any time between now and next Wednesday. Well, next Tuesday preferably.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell us that you really want to watch the season premiere of Lost review.
Please don't.
That's what we
Sam,
want to
I'm
do.
begging you, don't say that.
Do it. Give in to
Excellent
your
show.
anger.
Great show.
Well, Curtis, if that does actually happen, that means you'll have to watch Bosch.
Yeah, I've wanted to get into. It's on Amazon, right?
It is on
Still
Amazon.
It's on Amazon.
All right. I could probably get into that. I still haven't finished the first episode of The Boys, or
Oh,
haven't
good.
finished season 2 of Orville.
Oh, that was so
Yeah.
good too.
Do you
also haven't
think-
started Firefly?
Do you think we should review the Snyder Cut?
Yes.
Oh no! Wait, that doesn't
So
come
that
out till
means-
next month, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so
March
I guess that means
16th?
I have to get you the login info for HBO Max.
What if HBO Max partnered with a TV company and started producing 4x3 flat screens? Like 102-inch 4x3 flat screens. Just for the Snyder Cut.
I'd be okay with it.
This is interesting.
I'd be okay with it.
Huh.
I would buy one.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
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 Like and subscribe.
And subscribe.
Oh, I gotta hit the stop recording or stop streaming.